Hello Pisces, and welcome to your mid-month tarot reading for the month of April. We're going to go ahead and check in, see what you need to know for the rest of the month and any energies, advice or challenges that you might face. But as always, please take what resonates and leave the rest. And if anything does happen to resonate, you are required to tell me in the comments down below. I don't make the rules, I just follow them, okay? With that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump right in. We already have cards coming out at us. We have the Eight of Pentacles and we have the Page of Pentacles. You're being very patient with this, but I almost feel like you're not patient enough, because it feels like you're asking, like, why is this dragging along? Why is this taking so long? Is there a way to rush this? And you're even on the fence about whether or not you've made progress with whatever this project is. You're wondering if it's worth all the time and energy you've put in. But I feel like you're still very in the early stages of things. You're still learning, you're still growing. And the time and energy you've put in, you will see results for in the future. For your overall energy for the rest of the month, we have the Ace of Cups and we have the Six of Swords. New emotional beginnings coming through, maybe after a time of walking away from some chaos, maybe a bit of a storm, taking, what you've learned and applying it to maybe refill your cup. And I was going to say embrace some self-love here. Your main challenge is the Hermit. And the Page of Swords. So maybe your challenge, you're not embracing self-love. You're trying to put yourself out there and stop being such of a hermit. And I feel like this is the thing. I think if this is a new connection for you, Pisces, it feels out of your depth. It feels like maybe, I don't know, maybe you're trying online dating for the first time, or maybe you're trying in person or long distance. It feels like you're trying something different here, and it feels out of your depth. Maybe even just dating in general is very much out of your depth. And it feels like you want to go back to your comfort zone. You want to go back to where you know how things are and how things are said and done. So maybe you feel like you're actually moving into chaos and moving out of your depth. Your advice is the Tower and the Queen of Pentacles. I was going to say you need a little bit of a chaos. You need a little bit of a shake-up for growth here. I feel like this tower is not your whole tower crumbling. It's just a little bit of a shake-up, and you're noticing the things that kind of fall off the shelf that maybe you don't need to keep, and you're making room for these bigger things, for growth, for opportunities here. Your outcome is the Queen of Cups, and we also have the Two of Wands. New emotional beginnings, like I said, are coming through, and I feel like it's almost like you're having to open up your emotions that maybe you haven't for a long time. Maybe you were really closed off. Maybe you weren't planning to have to be open emotionally. And the Two of Wands, it's almost like you're wanting to plan for this growth, you're wanting to plan for this change, but I am feeling a little bit of a resistance here. You have the Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck and also the Ace of Wands. So I feel like you need to really blossom your confidence here. And I was going to say get in touch with that bad bitch energy. There is so many infinite possibilities out there for you. So I feel like you're worried about what to plan and where to go and what to do. But I want to say that doesn't need to be. You're still in the very, very, very early stages of things. So you don't need to have every single step worked out here, Pisces. To clarify what this Eight of Pentacles, Two of Swords, and Page of Pentacles is, please, Spirit, what is this energy for a lovely Pisces? We have the King of Wands, we have the Ace of Cups, and the Three of Cups. Like I said, I feel like you're very much out of your depth with this. It feels like very much going against what you was growing, building, working towards when it comes to finding a partnership and putting yourself out there. The Three of Cups. Maybe you're going to be meeting this new interest while you're out with friends. I feel like it's going to be an interesting partnership, definitely with the King of Wands coming through, and obviously you have the Queen of Wands coming through. So almost kind of fated. But you do need to have that confidence boost in some way, and I feel like this person could provide that for you. You just have to have patience with it. I feel like, again, it could be a mutual friend that's coming through. This is not going to be for everybody. The Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups for Pisces, please. The Queen of Swords. And that was the Nine of Pentacles. This is interesting because you know what you want, but you're scared to go after it. You're scared for I was gonna say, I feel like you're scared for long term. Maybe you really only have done like short term connections. So long term planning scares you. Futures scare you. You know, you know what you want, but it's about being confident enough to speak it into existence, to go after it, to chase it, to hold it, to keep it. I think that's what your resistance is here. What is the Six of Swords? The Lovers, the Hermit. You are trying to make a choice to put yourself out there. You don't want to be a hermit forever, but again, I don't know if you feel like maybe there's not the right person out there for you. It's very interesting. Clarify, do you have the Knight of Swords? Clarify the Hermit for me. You are wanting to mature and learn and grow. So that's not the resistance. Three of Wands, it really is about planning, long-term planning for the future. I don't know if you have this idea that like you worry that if you settle down, if you stick to a career, or if you stick to a single person, that when you settle, you are just settling and it's always going to be the same and it's never going to change and it's going to get monotonous and boring and, you know, I feel like that's what you think and that's what you expect. The Three of Pentacles. You don't like hearing other people's opinions as well as an energy that's coming through. You're very happy with the way things are and you're not open to change right now. And I feel like that is what's causing some, you're not open to hearing other people's opinions or collaborations or letting go of the way things are. You're very much, you like how things are and you don't want them to change. But you do at the same time. It's a very odd energy that you're in. You're kind of on the fence about things. You crave change, but you're scared of it at the same time. The Tower is your advice. I've never seen the Tower really come out as advice. I mean, I probably have, but it feels strange in this energy. The Emperor. You gotta kind of just be a leader, take charge, take control, you know, state what you want and go after it and be confident in that. That really is, this fiery energy is coming through for you right now of like, I want to say fake it till you make it, you know? Fake it till you make it. And I don't know if you have hay fever that's going crazy right now, but I have the most itchiest nose. Seven of Cups and Queen of Pentacles. Again, you want growth, you want change, you have to start choosing it for yourself. Not choosing what you know your neighbor wants, not choosing what your family wants for you, not choosing what your friends say you should want, choosing what you want because it makes you feel good, because it gets you excited for things, because you see potential and you see growth in it. You also have the Queen of Cups. This is also compared with the King of Swords. I feel like you are very confident in your mind, in the way that you think about things, but when it comes to expressing that or chasing it or going after it, that is where it starts to waver. Like I said, Two of Wands. The Two of Wands for Pisces, please. We have the Four of Swords and we have the Five of Wands. I feel like this really is all coming back to of like you trying to please other people with maybe the way that you present yourself, with maybe the career that you have, the lifestyle that you live, the people that you surround yourself with. I feel like you are desperately trying to please people, to fit in, to fit a mold. And I feel like that's why you're struggling here, is because you're chasing dreams that aren't your dreams, and you know that. And that's why there is this resistance, because you like being at home, you like being a hermit, but you feel like, well, everybody else is going out and doing these things, and you want to be keeping up with your peers. And I feel like that is why you're struggling, because you do feel competitiveness. You do feel like you have to compare and chase what everybody else is chasing. I feel like you need to start making decisions and making choices for yourself here, Pisces. I want you to just I want you to be fiery. I want you to be the King of Wands. I want you to be the Queen of Wands. I want you to be the Emperor. I want you to start advocating for yourself, choosing for yourself, you know? If you want to put yourself out there, put yourself out there. Plan for the future that you want and not the future that looks good on Instagram or looks good when you talk about it with your friends or looks good at your high school reunion. Plan the life and plan for the future that you feel proud about. That if nobody ever saw your career, if nobody ever saw your partner, if nobody ever saw your family or your house, if nobody ever knew, would you still be proud of what you've grown and what you've built? That is the important thing for you here. that is all I have for your reading, Pisces. I do offer private video readings, and those are linked in the description as always. If you did enjoy it, please like, subscribe, do all those YouTube things. And if you've watched this far, I truly, truly appreciate you.